Good morning, Abundant Life Church. This is Pastor Chris, and today we're going to finish up our study of Romans chapter 13, verses 8 through 10. We're talking about loving each other and how love is the fulfillment of the law. Last time we talked about the idea that we are not called to have friendship towards everybody, to like everybody. That's philos love. Instead, we're called to something higher. We're called to agape love. Agape love allows you to treat even people you don't necessarily like, even people who don't like you and have been horrible to you. It still allows you to treat them with decency and grace and forgiveness, just like Jesus does. What Paul is telling us to do is to love each other with agape. And here's the thing, we can do that, but it's more than just we can do it. We are commanded to do it. It's not a suggestion. It's not God saying, hey, I'd like you to get to that point where you can do that, but you do you. He's not saying that. You are commanded to show agape love to everybody. That means when we're wronged, we don't respond in anger. We respond in love and agape, not because we feel like it or even because we want to respond that way. We are choosing to obey God and be like Him and respond in undeserved love, no matter what people are like or what they've done. Agape means we have to let things go. When we do try to get even because we've been wronged or disrespected, does the other person ever go, yeah, okay, you got even with me. I had that coming. Okay, fair enough. Not usually. Usually they want to get back at you now, which makes you want to get back at them even more and makes them want to get back at you. Do you know how long the Hatfields and McCoy feud lasted? It lasted for over 100 years. That meant that the people who started the feud were not alive when the feud ended. They'd been dead for years. Generations had come and gone and been a part of that feud between these two families. You know what the feud started over? A pig. There was a question of whose pig it was. A century. A century went by. By the way, by the time the feud ended, that pig had been dead for years too. At some point, somebody has to let it go. Somebody has to end the conflict. Somebody has to say, I'm not going to try to get even. Someone has to say, it doesn't even matter anymore who's right and who's wrong. This has to stop with me. Here's the thing, philos love always feels good. It feels good to hear from an old friend. It feels good to spend time with your buddies. Philos is always great. Agape isn't. Sometimes agape means I really don't want to do this, but I need to. Well, why is God making us do stuff we don't want to do? Let me ask you, how much of your life is spent doing something you don't want to do? Let me just tell you, the day of the week I always film these videos is Monday. Ever do anything on a Monday you don't want to do? Like get up and go to work? Yeah, but you need to do it. Agape love doesn't always feel good, but it's the only way the church is ever going to get along. Too many times we've tried to get along using only philos. I will be nice to them as long as they're nice to me, and it doesn't work. True agape love says God's church is so important that whatever my grievance might be, I will choose to put it aside, even if I don't want to. And I will choose to respond in love in any situation. That's agape. And believe it or not, like I said, agape love is how God loves us. It's how you love your children. Wait, you're saying that sometimes God doesn't necessarily like us? Do you always like your kids? Do you ever get upset with them? Do you ever get frustrated with them? Do they ever break your heart? But do you ever stop loving them? The question is not, does God like us? By the way, I think God likes us more than we realize, too. But God always loves us. Always. We never have to wonder if we are not loved. The problem with basing your love for people on whether or not you like them is that you're going to make us all constantly audition for your kindness. You'll be nice to us as long as we measure up to your standards of how friendly we should be. Who knows where anyone stands in your rankings at any given time? This is why we've had problems and disunity in the church. It's why we don't love with the right kind of love, and we don't even realize that we're not loving with the right kind of love. The only way the church can ever get along is when we all start finally seeing each other and treating each other the same way that God treats us, with unquestioning love, despite all our pettiness, despite all our stupidity and our meanness. We need to show love. And that love comes from only comes from choosing to say, I will be loving no matter what. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.